Imagine a moment when even Parker Schnabel himself was shocked. Seeing what happened in this new season of Gold Rush, the eyes of the old mining experts were wide open. Even Parker himself could not believe that they have extracted almost twice as much gold as he had thought. Somewhere it seemed that this time something very big was going to happen, but this big, no one could have imagined. There was a suspense throughout the season. Parker's team was doing something quietly. Some things were hidden from the camera's eyes. And when finally the digging of that place was completed, a scene came to the fore which changed the history of the entire show. Did Parker discover a new vein? Or was there some secret treasure hidden in Dominion Creek? Or is this just the magic of Parker's planning and hard work? The video has the real footage when the entire crew stood speechless. There was that sparkle in Parker's eyes, which comes only when a record is broken. If you think you've seen it all, wait. This time, it's like nothing else. Watch the full video. And if you love such mysterious and surprising discoveries, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because Parker's next dig could be even bigger. This time, Parker Schnabel started the new season of Gold Rush in a different way. He made a decision that raised many eyebrows by choosing a very large site called Dominion Creek. This was a place that sounded rich in gold, but in reality, working there was no less than a danger. Parker took the biggest risk of his career so far. He invested about $15 million in this entire mission. And it was not a small amount. It was his hard work, his experience, and his future. Everything was at stake. Those who knew him said, "This is Parker's craziest move." Many old miners and TV viewers joked on Reddit and social media, "This time Parker will get caught." But only one thing was going on in Parker's mind. If you want to play big, then you have to bet big. This time he bet on Dominion Creek because there was something different from other locations in the old maps and satellite images. Parker was confident of his experience. He felt that there was definitely a big vein, a thick layer of gold hidden there. But to know the truth, digging had to start, and that too very fast. Parker assembled his team, but this time there was something new. He added some new faces to his old staff, young, sharp, and tech-savvy. Also, he bought high-tech machines, large dredging machines, new trommels, and precise scanning devices. But the story was not so simple. As soon as the digging started, the weather first created problems. Due to heavy rains, the soil of the site started slipping, and the machines started getting stuck. Many times the truck slipped and the work stopped for hours. On top of that, the ground of Dominion Creek was also not that soft. The layers there were very hard, which made digging even more difficult. Then came the biggest problem: technical failure. The machines were new, but the team was not fully trained on them. Sometimes the machines would overheat, sometimes the hydraulic pipes would burst, and sometimes the sensors would stop working. Parker would stay on the site day and night, sometimes in the driver's seat, sometimes opening the machine with the engineer, and sometimes examining the soil with his own hands. The team was tired, but Parker's enthusiasm was intact. Every day he would note in his diary, "How much metal was removed today? Where did you see what shine?" There was only one thing in his eyes: hope. He was sure that the more hard work he was putting in, the bigger the reward he would get. Slowly, the machines started getting set up. The team started understanding the system, and the speed of digging also increased. But during this entire setup, Parker said only one thing to his people: "This is not an ordinary season. This time, either history will be made, or everything will be over." And this thought fills the entire season with thrill and suspense. When Parker and his team start digging at Dominion Creek, expectations are high. Everyone thinks gold will shine right from the start, and Parker will reach close to his target in a few weeks. But the reality is different. For the first few weeks, only stones, wet soil, and useless gravel come out of the ground. Truckloads of material are being taken out, but the amount of gold in them is negligible. The earnings are not as much as the expenditure is. This clearly shows the lines of worry on Parker's forehead. There is a stir within the team as well. Some people say that the digging is being done in the wrong place. Some say that the vein is below, but we have to be patient. Parker listens to them all, but the restlessness inside keeps increasing. The daily expenses are in millions of dollars. Diesel, servicing of machines, staff salaries, and on top of that, the weather. The site had to be closed many times due to rain. The effect of all this is clearly visible on Parker. He is no longer as talkative as before. He spends most of his time alone, busy with maps, scanning reports and soil samples. At times, he himself starts thinking, "Did I make a mistake this time?" He remembers what people said, "I will lose $15 million. Even the show's producers had started doubting whether Parker would be able to hit gold this time or not. And then, one day, a small but shining moment changes Parker's luck. A worker who was washing the soil sees something light, like a thin, shining line. He stops, looks carefully, and immediately calls Parker. Parker runs from his place to that worker. Both of them get that place scanned together. The result that comes in the scanning machine brings the same hope on Parker's face again. The vein, which he was searching for months, is confirmed. That vein does not seem to be an ordinary vein. The scanning device shows that the vein extends a long distance and contains a large amount of dense mineral deposits. Parker's eyes light up. He gathers the team and says, "Now we are at the right place. Now the real digging will begin." This one small clue changed the entire atmosphere. The team that looked tired and disappointed till a few days ago was now filled with enthusiasm again. And Parker? Now he was ready to enter the field again with full strength and confidence. The story takes a new turn from here. And at this turn, Parker Schnabel starts moving towards writing history. As soon as the clue of that glowing line was found, Parker's team wasted no time and increased the pace of work. Now the machines started running day and night. Big trommels, dozers, and excavators were continuously digging the ground. Even in the darkness of the night, digging was going on in the light of headlights. The team did not sleep, and it seemed as if Parker had completely forgotten sleep. He would come to the site every 2-3 hours, examine the soil himself, see the scanning report on the screen, and check his maps again and again. Slowly, everyone started realizing one thing. The material under the ground was changing. Where earlier only soil and stones were found, now heavy and solid layers started appearing there. The machine operators also realized that now the ground was a little different, as if something heavy was buried underneath. A senior worker said, "I think we are very close to a vein. The ground has become very dense." Parker was now fully hopeful. The sparkle in his eyes had returned, which was hidden behind tiredness and worry till a few weeks back. He speaks directly to the team. Now we can't stop. What is there now is very big. And then comes that moment when Parker and his entire team are about to see the most shocking sight of their career. During the digging, suddenly a machine stops. It seems as if it has hit something very heavy. Everything becomes quiet for a few seconds. Then the operator gets down and gestures to Parker. "Sir, you should come and see it yourself." Parker quickly reaches that place. Some workers are already digging there. When Parker bends down and looks there, surprise and excitement are visible on his face. A big rock-like thing was coming out from inside the ground. But this was not an ordinary stone. At many places on it, light golden lines were visible, as if gold was peeping out from its surface. Parker kept looking at it for a few moments without saying anything. Then he smiles softly and says, "We have found the vein." The rest of the team also gathers at that place. Everyone is looking around that rock. Some people even start capturing that moment in the camera. This was the moment everyone had been waiting for months. That vein, on the hope of which $15 million were invested, was now peeking out of the ground. Parker immediately records its location with his GPS scanner. He notes in his diary date, time, and depth. This was not just a vein. This was the biggest hope of Parker's career. And now this hope had become a reality. And then Parker says only one thing to the team. Now the real story begins. As soon as Parker and his team found the vein, everyone's eyes were fixed on one thing. How much gold was found? The machines dug fast. The debris was loaded into trucks and taken to the processing plant. Parker seemed to be walking with each truck himself. His restlessness was clearly visible on his face. The entire crew was immersed in a strange kind of silence. No one was saying anything openly, but everyone had the same question. Is Parker going to break the record this time? During processing, Parker was monitoring every step. The soil was rotating in the trommel, being washed by streams of water, and then slowly those shiny particles started collecting in the sluice box. Every time someone filled a small tray, Parker himself went and saw it. Gradually, those particles increased, and when all the material was processed, then came the moment everyone was waiting for, the final weigh-in. The gold was brought in for weighing, melted, cast into bars, and then weighed on a huge digital scale. The whole team was staring at the screen. First 1,000 ounces, then 2,000, then 3,000, and then as the number crossed 4,800, everyone's breath stopped. The final figure, 4,095 ounces. Everyone was surprised. Some just exclaimed, "Oh my God!" Parker stood there, his eyes welling up, and then he said himself, "This is almost twice what we thought. We've broken the record to extract so much gold in a single season, and that too from a difficult site like Dominion Creek. It was nothing short of a miracle." As soon as the news got out, the entire mining industry was in a tizzy. Old mining experts, geologists, and even old faces from the show reacted. A statement from a former miner went viral. "I've never seen so much gold in one season in my 30 years of life." Gold Rush experts called it a historic moment. Social media was abuzz. Threads were created on Reddit. People were guessing how much money Parker earned this season. Parker Record Breaker started trending on Twitter. People were making reaction videos to short clips of this footage on YouTube and TikTok. Memes abounded. Parker started getting names like the Gold King and Vein Slayer. This wasn't just Parker Schnabel's victory, it was the victory of an entire thought. Take risks, work hard, and stick to your goal. Parker didn't just find gold, he made history. And now, the whole world was calling his season legendary. When Parker Schnabel saw the final weight, 4,195 ounces, he just kept staring at the screen for a few moments. His eyes were moist, but they were also shining. There was fatigue on his face, but behind that fatigue there was a satisfaction, a feeling of victory that is felt more than words. He looked at the camera, smiled, and said something very simple but effective. "This is why I take risks." Parker was emotional, but he looked calm and balanced as always. He patted his team on the back, thanked every worker. This season's success was not just his, it was the result of the hard work of the entire team. When he was asked in the interview what was the biggest reason for this victory, Parker, with a light smile, repeated the same line that he has said many times before. "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That is, if you do not try, then it is impossible for you to win." For Parker, it wasn't just about extracting gold. For him, it was a big statement that if you leave your fear behind, you can do what others think is impossible. But the story doesn't end here. Now the question on everyone's mind was, will Parker go back to Dominion Creek again? When Parker himself was asked this question, he didn't take long to answer. He said, "The vein we found was just the tip. I think there is a lot more buried there that is still there." According to him, some more signals are visible in the scanning reports, some patterns that are not directly connected to the vein, but indicate that something is hidden around it. Parker said that now he will get the entire area scanned again, this time to a greater depth. He said that the data that has been received contains something that has never been seen before. Perhaps a sealed vault, a tunnel, or some ancient structure that may be related to history as well as gold. Some people are even saying that this area is not just a mining area, but could be the hidden story of some ancient treasure or civilization. And this time Parker will return not just as a miner, but as an explorer. Parker's planning for the next season is more advanced than before. He is thinking of ordering new machines, which can dig deeper. Along with this, he has also started talking to some expert geologists and archaeologists. The meaning is clear. Parker's next step is not just going to move towards gold, but towards mystery. And thinking this, millions of people are eagerly waiting for the next season. Because Parker Schnabel is not just mining now, he is bringing history out of the ground. As soon as the news of Parker Schnabel's record-breaking discovery spread, the internet went on fire. Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, it was the talk of the town. People watched the clips frame by frame and found out things that were never openly shown in the show itself. I'm sure they found something else, but it was edited out, wrote a user on Reddit. Another theory went viral, claiming that Parker's team found an old artifact along with the gold during the dig, but it was not shown on camera because it was historically sensitive. A video clip was being shared repeatedly on Twitter in which Parker is standing away from some people and covering something with a black cloth. In the background of the video, some of the crew members look very serious, as if a secret meeting is going on. Seeing this footage, people started asking, has the Gold Rush team hidden something? Some people even believe that this time the government is also showing interest in the excavation, and perhaps some footage was not allowed to be shown on TV. All these rumors and theories further increased the popularity of the show. On one hand, people were praising Parker, while on the other hand, they were also raising questions, are we being shown the whole truth? On the other hand, there was a debate going on among the fans of the show, but the atmosphere inside the team was equally interesting and emotional, which the general audience never sees completely on camera. Parker himself later admitted in an interview that this season was the heaviest, not only in terms of gold, but also in terms of human relationships and emotions. Some members of the team, especially those who have been working with Parker for years, were very tired this time. Constant bad weather, problems with machines and pressure to meet the target, everything was happening at the same time. Due to this, there were arguments and small fights on some occasions. A senior operator shared how one night when the machine was stuck and the team was demoralized, Parker called everyone around the campfire and said one thing without scolding them. If we don't become a team, this gold will just turn into dust. This one line changed the entire team's perspective. Apart from this, there were some emotional moments that were not captured on camera, like when a worker got good news from his family, or when an old crew member hugged Parker and said, "You are no longer just a boss, you have become a leader." These behind-the-scenes moments prove that this show is not just about finding treasure, but also about human hard work, trust, and passion. And perhaps this is the reason why people connect with this show so much, because behind it is not just gold, but a human struggle and truth is also hidden. When the entire digging was over and the final weigh-in came out, it seemed that Parker and his team had achieved their biggest goal. But Parker looked at the camera and what he said shocked everyone. "We have just scratched the surface." This one line made it clear that whatever was found was just the beginning. After that, in the meeting with Marty and the rest of the team, everyone's faces were serious, but enthusiasm was clearly visible in their eyes. Marty said, "There are more layers below the place where we were digging this time. The anomalies seen in the scan are pointing towards a big vein or sealed structure." Parker replied by nodding. "Next time, we will not just dig. We will really go deeper, more than anyone has gone till now." The body language of the entire team was telling that now, their next step could be very big and perhaps a little dangerous. And then in the last scene, Parker's voice resonates, which reaches straight to the heart of every viewer. If you think this was my biggest victory, then wait. What we are going to find next time is not just gold. Maybe it could be a secret, a hidden story that has been buried for centuries. So if you also want to know what Parker and his team are going to find next, then subscribe to the channel right now, because the next episode will not just be thrilling, it could be the most shocking revelation in history.